Vibe, Cross Community Podcast Radio.
Buonasera, Kendall.
And welcome to Radio Vibe.
So it's Federica.
And it's Rosa here.
Today to interview Kendall Bousquet. Hello, Kendall, first of all.
Hi,
and, so we start with the very first question that we're going to ask everybody.
Everybody's, yeah.
So the question is...
What is your favorite Italian words?
I heard the Italian word for selfie is autoscatto. Would that be right?
That's so cool.
I just thought it was more elegant. so,
That's actually brilliant.
as it tends to be in Italian. So.
Really?
Oh, fantastic. Very
I
good.
think, you won like the first prize, for the most original Italian word. Already.
Yeah, because I'm wondering whenever we're going to ask this question, what we're going to hear. So
everybody
this probably
will
would
say
be,
ciao, pizza, something like that.
it's definitely the most authentic words that we're going to hear. And we will tell you if it would happen and we stay so authentic. Okay.
That's great. So, Kendall, would you like to introduce yourself, first of all?
Yeah, so my name is Kendall Bousquet. I am the coordinator for the Lava Project at Migrant Centre NI, and I'm based in Belfast, Northern Ireland.
And you're originally coming from?
I'm from Texas.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I imagine you like on a horseback, like with a hat and a lot of cows like all around. I don't know. It's my stereotype. For Texas.
It's not like. It's interesting because I grew up in Houston, which is a big city.
There you go.
But
you wouldn't have
the cowboy stereotype, it's also kind of true, like we'd go to the rodeo every year. So
right.
I think it's a hybrid of modernity and tradition.
Yeah. That's interesting. And Houston, of course, being big, it's quite interesting to imagine rodeo going on in there.
Yeah, it's massive. Like,
that's brilliant. But the surname sounds like French.
Yeah, my last name is French, Bousquet. So that would actually be my dad's father's side of the family would be Cajun. So like French from Louisiana.
Okay.
So it's not like I'm not really connected to that culture very much, but it's kind of interesting to think about. Like,
oh, definitely. I mean, we're all excited about that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Always about connection that you might have with different places, and the name sometimes is tied to it, isn't it? It's interesting.
Yeah.
So
Kendall, tell us about Italy first of all, like your Italian connection there. So.
Yeah. So my Italian connection that I thought of is I have been to Italy once. Hopefully, I'll go. I'd love to go again. As many times as I can. But I've been once so far. I took a trip there with my sister in 2016. We were in Naples, and then in the south we went to Ischia and Sorrento, and then we spent some time in Rome as well, and took a few day trips from Rome. It was. I really.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I loved it. That trip really stayed with me, and I feel like it was. I had a lot of very moving experiences and enjoyable experiences.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was the most vivid memories in a way from that very trip?
So it was interesting because each kind of city has its own energy, and I guess we were told people were like, oh, Rome is amazing, and it is obviously, but they were like, really, Naples compared to
full of
Rome.
character,
isn't it? It is. I love and it was by far my favorite. I loved it. My sister loved it too. I feel like I really, and that's kind of the thing about Belfast in a way as well, is I feel like I really tend to connect with cities that people maybe overlook or maybe think are a little bit less air quotes nice, but are full of character and really wonderful people and really amazing culture and energy. I really liked seeing two different parts of the country, but I especially liked being in the South, I think.
Okay. You didn't go to Venice.
No, that's for the
will be
next
your
trip.
Yeah. Exactly. And Sicily as well.
If you want to go farther south, then you have to go to Sicily.
Right, yes, definitely. Very high on my list.
Totally.
So 2016, so what happened? I mean, something
very interesting,
really
isn't
very big and interesting.
Yeah, so I have like a vivid, I like remember exactly where I was when Brexit was announced, because I was like on the bus in Rome, and just like refreshed my phone, and it was like the news had broken, and I was like with my sister, and we were like, oh, it kind of like felt like in that moment, it was like, okay, things are about to get really weird, like things are about to change. And so obviously we're living in Belfast now. At the time I was still in university, and I was had done a 6-month internship 2 years previous in Belfast, also at the Migrant Center, and you know, like just fell in love with the city while I was here, and fell in love with like just living in Ireland and with the North, and that was actually like, it was almost like when something happens and you think of like somebody you love, if there's like bad news, I immediately just thought of like of the North and like of Northern Ireland and what the impact would be there. It was like my first thought.
I do remember.
Oh yeah, we have a very vivid
very well.
memory of it. We obviously, you know, two people living under the same roof. We had different opinion and different hopes.
We went to bed.
We went to bed with two
completely different opinions.
Yeah.
You were thinking.
I say to you, we're gonna get up tomorrow morning and we will be outside Europe.
When I said no, it just can't be true, you know. So yeah, and then whatever happens, we know. So
first thing in the morning, open the news and like, did I not tell you we were going to be out of Europe? And so it happens.
Yeah.
But what can we do?
So there's this triangle basically, so Texas, Belfast, and Naples. You know, isn't that? I mean, but tell us a bit about your life here in Belfast and in Kendall. What you like, what attracts you to the place, which is a very, very special place.
It is. It definitely is. So I've been living in Belfast most recently for 2 years now. I moved over here to do a master's degree from Queen's University, and so I did my master's degree. The program was called Conflict Transformation and Social Justice. I did my dissertation. It was kind of like a sociology, criminal justice like discipline, and I basically did research on domestic violence in Northern Ireland, and thinking about kind of paradigms for justice in cases of gender-based violence. I graduated, or actually I started working for the Migrant Center before I'd even graduated. I was kind of hoping, you know, I knew I liked Belfast, and I was thinking, oh, it would be amazing if I got a job and could stay, because at that point I would have to transition from a student visa to work visa. I thought it was kind of a long shot, but I just applied for the position at the Migrant Center, and luckily got it, and
that's brilliant.
And so I've been working in Belfast for the last year at the Migrant Center.
There was love at first sight, both with Belfast and with the Migrant Center.
Yeah, definitely. So I was doing actually kind of a double internship, because the Migrant Center used to be called, so now it's Migrant Center, and it used to be called the Belfast Migrant Center before kind of we expanded operations. So at the time, I was interning at what was then the Belfast Migrant Center and the Council for Ethnic Minorities, which is unfortunately now just went into administration due to lack of funding in 2016, around the same time a lot of organizations did, because of just austerity. Absolutely. And but those 6 months were like a very kind of I loved like getting up and going to work every day. I was like interning full time, and it was just it really was like I kind of love at first sight with Belfast. Like well, I say that I moved without really thinking, like the week of the 12th, and was like, oh.
Interesting day.
But yeah, then a few weeks passed and I realized the city wasn't like that all the time. So maybe love at second sight.
Second sight, of course. Okay, so shall we go for a little musical break?
We shall indeed. And
but there's more Kendall to come.
Absolutely.
Dimmi, dimmi a chi pensa assatata, sola dreta stillastra, faccio muri rimpetta stampata, vedo un'ombra e che st'ombra sei tu, freschi a notte una luna d'argento, sai in cielo più bianca da vento, e usciato ogni tanto dove miezza staria si sente passare. Non veno, l'ho vista per strada, passeggiare ancora cunata, e renno parlavano te. Tu sei stata traduta, tu sei stata lasciata, tu sei stata inchiantata, pure tu, Catari, tu contenta, non sei Catari, tu contenta, non sei.
And here we are back after a little music break.
Yeah, with Kendall Bousquet.
So just to really set the scene as well, because from the sound, maybe we can just hear the...
We're having a shower, basically.
Which is not. We're just sitting beside the Lagan River, and maybe the sound of the water can be heard in the background. So it's a little bit like the 3rd of September, but feels like it's already
the 3rd of December, yeah.
So, but anyhow, just to say that we're sitting outside and luckily it's not raining. Okay, so here we go.
So we were talking, Kendall, about love at first sight, second sight, whatever, with Belfast and the migrant centres. So the Lava Project, we really met you and Rosa first. I joined it a little bit later through the Lava Project. So would you like maybe to say something about that, what it is and what's its main aim and everything you went through it?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's how I came on at the Migrant Center. Was my post to coordinate the Lava Project, which stands for the Lead, Achieve, Aspire. We were a bit liberal with the acronyms there. And essentially the idea behind the project was we were really hoping to fill a gap that we saw within the kind of BME migrant sector, if you will, where there are maybe sometimes gatekeepers who have positions in these established organizations, but then a lot of really great, leadership happening at the grassroots level that aren't maybe necessarily brought into this fully formal or constituted fold yet, but that there, is a lot of potential there, just that is kind of waiting to be realized and just needs the kind of resources put towards capacity building at the grassroots level. So that was the idea behind the Lava Project, was to offer professional development and capacity building opportunities for lived experience leaders from migrant and ethnic minority backgrounds in Northern Ireland. And so what that has kind of ended up looking like is that we have a cohort of our Lava leaders, of which you're two of them, and really just trying to build the capacity of that cohort and the organizations and kind of projects that they're working on in whatever way that we can. So that has meant, offering trainings on certain kind of skills development and professional development opportunities, to kind of helping to provide some support or mentorship around getting people's projects and kind of groups started. So,
isn't it? Like truly
absolutely. I think it was really, really well organized and well sort of, if you like, what's the word? Structured. Yeah. And provided to people, and I think I really honestly I've been very lucky to be able to join the project because it has provided me with some skills that I didn't have otherwise before that. So
and some knowledge as well.
Oh yeah, I mean the knowledge has been amazing. Something that I've been living in Northern Ireland for 20 years, and there's been things that I didn't even know existed. So yeah, absolutely. For me, it's been a high opener in many respects.
It's so true. And Kendall, talking about acronyms, whenever you said, BME or BAME, maybe some people do not know what it stands for. I mean, the acronym, can you explain it?
Yeah, absolutely. So that would stand for Black and Minority Ethnic. I think in every kind of country and cultural context, there are different imperfect terms to address groups who fall outside of the kind of ethnic or racial majority group. And I think Northern Ireland, it's kind of like an especially these things have as much meaning as we give them but for our purposes, to say that we work with BME groups, that could mean people from migrant backgrounds. It could mean people who grew up in Northern Ireland themselves, but might be from a background outside of what people think are just the two settled populations. But I mean, we also have a project at the Migrant Center on Enniskillen that works specifically with the traveler community, the Irish traveler community. Okay. So it's, I think using terms like this, they're a bit imperfect, but you have to just get through the working day, and you have to communicate somehow.
Absolutely. So true. So the Lava project has ended, I mean, in a way, but will there be another one soon?
So we got some actually good news in that we got essentially an uplift grant from the National Lottery Community Fund who are funders. So what we're hoping to do, what that's going to look like is in the fall have an organized international lived experience leaders conference.
Oh, wow.
And so have any members of the Lava cohort who are interested in any part of the organizing process with that take part if they are interested, and hopefully actually have some of the members of the group present at the conference as well. But we'll also feature people from across Northern Ireland, and actually from international kind of speakers and contexts as well. So just really about knowledge and skills sharing between lived experience leaders at this time when we're responding to so many new challenges and thinking about old challenges in hopefully a new way.
Yeah, that's very, very good. And can I ask you, obviously, again, the three of us sitting in here, we are not all from Northern Ireland, and you and your experience with working with the Migrant Center and the Lava Project, what has been maybe the most challenging, which challenging doesn't necessarily mean negative, but can be both positive and negative experience that you had by running the project first of all, and then be part of the Migrant Center.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Obviously, I think what has been challenging for everyone has just been adapting to this new normal in the kind of COVID era. I was honestly nervous when we made the transition from doing kind of in-person meetings to then this new format of having Zoom, and is it gonna work for people, and are people even gonna be interested? And I was just so happy and excited to see that actually, the members of the group are just so lovely and so excited about the work that they're doing, and really keen. So it was actually even the challenges or the quote problems were like good problems, because if attendance petered out a bit when we became online, it's because we had group members who were doing so much leadership in their communities that actually it's like, okay, I'm really glad that you're taking that time to do that, and we'll support you in any way. You're still a lava leader, even if you can't make it to this meeting because you're doing food parcel delivery or something, or running a wellness group or something.
So
Fantastic.
And
So I think we want to end this great first interview with a couple of thoughts. So the first one is some very special thanks to Kendall, because we met you and we had this, as we say in Italian, we had the project in the drawer, basically. So I was just sitting there for, I think, a couple of years, maybe.
we did, it was for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And so I remember when you sort of asked us about, if we had any project in mind, and to sort of put it out there, and spoke to you about the radio, and you were super enthusiastic and you loved the idea. And so, if we are here doing what we're doing today, I think it's been because of the encouragement that you're giving us and the support.
All the practical support. You believed in the project from the very first moment. And so we have felt, really privileged, to receive such welcoming, support. So thank you for that, Kendall, from Radio Vibe and all the Radio Vibers.
Even if they are not here, but I can tell you they are really, really grateful as well.
Absolutely. And the second thing, really very last thought is, it was your idea.
It was my idea. Yeah. So one of the things that we will continue to do this every time we end every interview is we will ask people to what would they like to see coming up in Radio Vibe. So is there anything that you can think of that you could not advise, but tell us what would you like to see coming up in the future podcasting for Radio Vibe?
Yeah, I'm just really excited to see that you guys have such kind of a broad range of guests from so many different backgrounds and walks of life and relations to Italy. I love just hearing people's little synchronicities and insynchronicity. I don't know the word. Just the things that make everybody have their own kind of unique take on things. And so I'm really excited to just hear from as many different kinds of people as possible. It's been such a great experience having y'all in the group, and the project, as soon as you pitched it, your passion for it was so evident. So it was really a no-brainer to try to support it in any way.
Yeah, and as I say, we are here, we're coming from a different community in a way, and for us it's such a beautiful sort of idea to bring community together by using this form of communication. Yeah, and
it's a friendly chat idea, and you find
and having
out
a laugh
so
while we're doing that.
Things.
So definitely sounds like we're very popular as you describe us, but I'm not sure.
Which is not true, of course.
But we definitely going to be making sure that our interview would be reaching out to everyone,
as many people as
it is possible, and then of course then people would like to give us an interview as well.
Yeah.
So thank you again. And
so thank you very much, Kendall Bousquet.
It turned into a beautiful evening over the course of
the
interview.
Sorry, that's a good sign. Thank you, Kendall.
Thank you very much again.
Thank you.